My name is Meredith Stone, and this thesis is about flower power, biomimicry to adapt a school to the tropical environment. What do you think about when you think of the tropics? Sun, paradise, shading your beautiful eyes from the brilliance of the sun, maybe even some summer rain? Well, all of these stand true. The tropics are beautiful. On average, the sun shines 12 hours per day, making this a perfect location for solar collection. But there are problems within buildings trying to generate solar energy. Solar collectors need to be placed up high to avoid obstructions, especially in locations where they can be tampered with. And on top of that, putting a solar collector on a building attracts more heat to the building. In the tropics, circumstances are very hot and humid. And because it's so hot, buildings need ventilation. Because there is a lot of rain and humidity, there needs to be protection and possibly collection from water. So how do we solve this? This thesis claims that if we mimic the form and performance of the sunflower, we can generate solar energy, shade the site, get adequate ventilation for interior thermal comfort, and properly drain and collect water. I looked at multiple case studies that all address different factors of what I sought to accomplish. These three, which are found in hot regions of the world, all showed that raised roofs allowed for natural ventilation for hot air to rise using the stack effect, and that porous walls allowed for breathable interiors and air to flow through. These two showed examples of movement, both human and mechanical, that allowed for buildings to move in order to adapt with their environment. From here, I came up with a plan for design broken into 3 phases. Phase 1 deals with solar energy generation and shading, which have function in the leaves and the flower of the sunflower. Phase 2 deals with ventilation and water drainage, which is found specifically in the leaves of the sunflower. Phase 3 deals with water collection, which has to do with drainage from the leaves to the roots. The site I selected was Miss Gordon's early childhood institution in Big Bridge, Jamaica, which is southwest of Negril. My family's foundation has been working with this preschool in order to update facilities for the school children over the years. It has a 10-foot by 30-foot footprint. It has wooden walls, a tin roof. It's dark, hot, humid, and is not connected to the grid, leaving it without electricity for the past several years. In Phase 1, I examined solar shading at different times of the day. The interesting thing about Jamaica is that unlike what is conventional in America, the sun not only hits the earth at a southward angle, but during the summer it also hits the earth at a northern angle. The most efficient photovoltaic system for this region are cadmium and ASI panels, which can be applied as a thin film that will be applied directly to the roof surface, eliminating a need for an extra engineered structural support found in building applied photovoltaic panels. There were several roofing iterations that I proposed to mimic the flower, some mobile, some immobile, some with issues of obstruction for both collecting sun and traffic on the site, but in the end I developed a hybrid system that involved a double roofing system. The exterior roof would be supported by 4 telescope columns with low-voltage hydraulic pumps that would feed rams attached to the roof with double axial gimbals for angle changes. This system would need a solar tracker to accurately follow the sun's path and an algorithm to make sure the roof still adapts with the sun on cloudier days. Safety shutoffs would need to be incorporated for high winds and bad weather, as well as overextension of rams. The system is limited to 150 degrees rotation east and west in order to accommodate obstructions in the horizons and overextension of the rams. Battery storage had to be considered because of their explosive nature. I proposed raised boxes that could be ventilated and incorporate fans, leaving them out of reach of children but accessible for maintenance. In Phase 2, ventilation was addressed. In photosynthesis, which occurs in the chloroplast found in the leaves of the sunflower, there is a constant exchange of airflow that is allowed because of the porous nature of the leaf. I examined multiple types of walls and methods of enclosure in order to ensure that the school building could have airflow like the leaf for thermal comfort but maintain security from intruders and harsh weather. In this phase, I also had to ensure that the building was protected from water and ventilation systems designed for the building. Every opening can be closed and secured if need be, and a rolling garage door is mounted at the top to close off the building for off hours and harsh weather. Also, as mentioned before, this is a preschool, and bamboo slats not only provide area for hot air ventilation, but also areas for students to hang their works and projects. In Phase 3, I examined water collection so that the school can store and then later pump to reuse on site for gray water and irrigation. Water will be collected underground in a cistern and then pumped back for reuse. And as you can see here, all of these parts coincide and work together to make an adaptable building able to shift with the sun, shade, ventilate, and collect water. In conclusion, designing the school building like a sunflower, in return, allows for the building to sustain itself and truly work like a living organism for its occupants and for the environment.